What's up everybody, Manny from Motomillion here, and we have 650 Eve's M1000RR, as he calls it, the world's most beautiful M1000RR, and I guess I'm gonna have to call it that too, because just look at this thing. It's just absolutely amazing. We had the privilege of getting some more parts on this bike. We're not done with it yet, but as it stands, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. It rides amazingly well, makes me want to get one, but in the real world, I guess I can't get one for now, but at least I got to ride this thing. So a quick walk around video showing you guys what's done to it and how beautiful this is. I think everyone's going to appreciate it. Right up front, the biggest change we made is we've changed the calipers. We had some Brembo style lima calipers custom painted, and we have our Stalbus bleeder valves that are the banjo bolts and the bleeders inside. And right here we have the full 6 brake cooling ducts with the matching carbon, the 12 weave, and the Alpha Racing front axle slider, which helps you. This bike already has a quick release, but this even makes it quicker, because all you got to do is you got to undo your pinch bolts, stick a 1/2 inch socket in there with an extension, and you could just take it off without any special tools. And I'm sure you could notice all the blue on this bike. All the bolts are Pro-Tie titanium bolts. I know there's some bolts missing, but we will eventually get all of them changed over to Pro-Tie bolts. Even right here on the RCS 17 Corsa Corta, we have the pivot bolt in Pro-Tie titanium. We have to run a 17 RCS master cylinder to match the piston size on the style lemma calipers. And we're running the Rizoma reservoir right on there. This is actually the smaller size reservoir. I think it looks better. And if you're not doing track days, or even if you're doing track days, it's enough fluid that it's not going to go bad on you if you have just a little less fluid. We have our Stalbus bleeder valves right here as well. The TWM steering stem nut. We have the matching clutch lever. And what we did was we put the low drag TWM lever ends on the Brembo master cylinder so that it matches the clutch side. And one thing you're going to notice is these Performance Technologies clutch lever guard is red and the brake lever guard is blue. Again, we're going with that red and blue theme because this bike, as you see, it has the red pieces here, the blue pieces here, and you'll notice this is a full 6 carbon fiber tank cover that Eve had the stickers applied to. I think it just matches it really well. I didn't know how well it's going to look because it was white before, but I think it looks really good with the stickers right on there. And then right over here, these are really, really cool, the stealth mirrors. So right now it's on downforce mode, or as Eve calls it, the smackdown mode. And you'll flip them up and you'll have mirrors. And they're easy enough that while you're riding, you could do that if you really need to. And on this bike, you kind of don't need it because it doesn't wheelie whatsoever. It's one of the biggest differences between this bike and an S1000RR is how different the suspension feels and how much you could get onto the power and not wheelie. And again, it makes you appreciate it. And in terms of riding it, the engine is completely, there's something about it that feels different. Just the same way that the V4R feels different than any other V4 or V4S out there. This bike has that magic. And finally, I think BMW's cracked it, because all the other manufacturers, other than I think the Yamahas, with the crossplane cranks, just felt like another machine. Incredible machines, but just didn't have that special feel. This bike, trust me, it's making me want to get one. That's how good it is. Not that, you know, I don't want all the other bikes, but this is special. And continuing on with what we have on the bike, we have the full 6 frame covers that we had installed. And right down here, we have to protect the bike, these frame sliders by Rizoma. Again, they're subtle enough that they'll disappear from point of view if you're not looking at them, but they're good enough to give you that protection. And down here, we have all the Pro-Tie bolts, the TWM, the timing inspection cover bolt, and the oil cap by them. This bike has these absolutely beautiful Geely's tooling rear sets that Eve really, really likes. I like him too, but it's a little too slippery for my taste. But I guess they have to do it for, you know, everyday riders that don't want to tear up their boots, because anything grip here will tear up your shoes and boots when you're riding on the street. So it's understandable, but again, it looks really good. And this big piece of carbon right here, that's the full 6 racing belly pan. Eve had this custom sticker made. Now represents the bike really well with the full 6 carbon, the Motomillion and Geely's tooling. And right behind it, you see that beautiful Akrapovic full titanium exhaust system. This is the GP Shorty can. I know a lot of you guys watching this video at this time are drooling over it because this is the time of year that COVID hit everybody hard and supply chains are all broken and everything is so hard to get, and these exhausts have been very, very hard to get. It has a beautiful swing arm, the M1000RR swing arm. I think we took some measurements, looked at them. It actually is the same exact swing arm on an S1000RR, just a different color. But the difference is the linkages that it has on it are different than the S1000RRs. It has that upside down rear shock on it. Again, whatever they did, this bike rides really, really well. And we have the Racing ultralight rear rotor on it. And we have all the pro-tie bolts that we could throw at it. And if you swing around to the sprocket side, our favorite sprocket's the Sita 520 conversion kit on this bike with the EK 3D chain and the pro-tie sprocket nuts. And right up here, we have the NRC tail tidy kit. We really like these things. I always say it. It's just the illumination and how visible they are when you're on the road. That's what makes it so good, that it's stealthy enough that it looks beautiful, but it's also safe enough because it's so bright. And one thing to mention, look at this rear stand. This is all carbon fiber. It's another piece of bling, I guess. And if you come down here, one of the most noticeable differences we made on the bike other than the exhaust was this Alpha Racing quick shifter on this bike. Now the minute you touch this lever, the bike shifts. The bike already was shifting great, but this does make a noticeable difference. We have the sprocket cover from Full Six in the back, and this piece is called the electronics cover. This is usually also black plastic that we changed over. We have our Light-Tech swing arm pivot bolt, our Samco blue hoses. Other than looking pretty, these silicone hoses actually dissipate heat and they help with the cooling of the bike. Our timing cover bolts, I don't know what this side is called, but it's the same as the other side, but we have the red one on here. And also right down over here, we have the radiator guards by DHE83, one of the first things that I think everybody should be doing on their bike. And lastly, it blends in because this looks so normal now, the TWM quick action fuel caps, because we put them on everything that we have. It makes it so much easier to put in fuel and get on the go, as long as you don't forget this cap. I always say it. I've done it myself once, a few times. If you take a look at the windscreen, we have the WRS double bubble windscreen. And I know you guys are going to want me to start this bike because everybody wants to hear it. Just one other big thing that we're going to change is actually the Full Six carbon fiber rear subframe on this bike. That Eve's going to get it painted. We're going to keep the color scheme. And the Öhlins shocks. I think the rear Öhlins shocks and the Öhlins forks on this bike are just, they'll complete it, you know. It'll be that bike that has everything on it. It'll have the carbon subframe. And I almost forgot the kickstand. It blends in so well that I forgot about it. This carbon fiber kickstand by Full Six, it just absolutely finishes off the bike. Now we have that silver swing arm matching the case covers, but everything else is just either carbon fiber or that beautiful motorsport theme that this bike has going on. But yeah, let's start this up. I'm not going to rev it because the bike is cold. I'm sure you can watch Yves' videos that he has about this bike and the sound. We'll just start it up to make you guys happy. We'll leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Thanks for everything, guys.